Hello. Hi, friends. Welcome in, everyone. It's so nice to be with you all again today. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Catherine. Hello, hello. Today is the last day in November. Can you believe it? The 11th month.
Yes.
Hi.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Grand rising. Buenos dias. Hope everyone is well. Grab your tea, grab your coffee. We're going to be talking a little bit about dealing with the past. 5 minutes ago, it's the past.
That's it.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Can I mute? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. We just had a little power out. So I had a quick minute of something that has occurred. But you know what? It's in the past right now.
Amen.
Hello, nice to be with you all today. The topic for today is just, is there something that you're holding on to from the past? In this society, we have a bias in a sense, and this is just, what I've experienced, that we hold on to the present. Let's be present and look forward to the future and stay away from the past. Like, it's always something to be dreaded or something to be chucked away and thrown about. The slides that I have put together is just for a thought, just to guide us through, but this is very conversational. And I just wanted to ask you all, is there something that you are holding on to from the past? Just think about that for a moment. And if you would like to share, you can share, but it's just a noticing. And as you think about this thing, person, situation, or thought, is it something that is holding you back? Or is it something that you're utilizing to propel you forward? And just notice that. I know that it's early in the morning. I'm team 4 a.m. So I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I'm on my second cup of coffee. Hi, Omina. First cup of tea. I do it a little bit in reverse. Instead of tea first to wake up and break my fast, I go straight into the caffeine. So just notice that thought. Is it holding you stuck? Is it holding you back? Or is this thing from your past what you're utilizing to propel you forward? Good morning, Grand Rising, as everyone's still coming in.
Yes. So I know we all have stuff from the past. So this is a powerful question. It can also be jarring. Can be an opportunity to look at how the past is moving you, like Belka is saying, or how it's stagnating or stopping you in your tracks. So who is willing to share, what that orientation to the past is for yourself? This is a great question. I'm going to say, yes, there's someone that's been keeping me stuck. Someone that's been keeping me stuck on my intimate relationships with men. I just had a 3-hour conversation with Kenny, and Kenny is her child's father. So I see Catherine has her hand raised. Do you want to go to Amina? Or do you want to go to Catherine?
The first person that you spoke about was Omena. Then
Yes.
let's do Omena, and then we go to Catherine.
And Omen, I'm sorry, you didn't say you wanted to speak about it. You wrote about it. So are you willing to talk about it?
Yeah, I can speak briefly. I'm moving around. I'm helping him to get the baby ready. He's actually here visiting. So I'm trying to help him. But yeah, we had a very candid conversation yesterday because I know for me, what I realized is my dad, the issue that I have with my father, I've never really felt secured by men, the masculine. So what I realized is that in my relationships, my intimate partnerships with men, not just him, but men in general, I have this recurring thing about men, like they're not reliable in an emotional way. They're not secure, they don't protect you. And so my interactions with him have been really like verbally abusive and chaotic, I can say, or verbally chaotic. So whenever I feel like he's doing something, like the spirit said to me, you are allowing yourself to be pulled by strings. So when he's doing something that you deem nice or speaking your love language or whatever it is, any man, when they're doing what you deem is secure and safe and whatever else it is, you're fine, you're happy. When you're not, and that's why when she was talking about codependency yesterday, when they're not, you become the Tasmanian devil. And it's not good for your adrenals, it's not good for your health, and it's definitely not good between him and I. We've been trying to get this thing together for 8 years. So, and he said it to me. He was just like, when you do those things, when you talk to me like that, my resort is to not talk to you. So he spent like 8 days here not talking to me, not coming in my bed, I mean, Jesus Christ, it was hard. And then I was sad, and I had to sit with that energy. And I was like, that's what's keeping me stuck. I have it that my dad abandoned me and my father was in the same household as me, didn't talk to me. So I get triggered when I'm speaking and I'm being what I consider vulnerable, and a person walks off from me, or a man, they walk away. In particular, him, when he walks away, when he doesn't talk to me, you're in the same house as me, but you're not talking to me, it triggers me. And I resort back to the 12-year-old, and I get really, really defensive.
You're muted, love.
Oh, I said, and I'm complete from that. Yeah, that's what's been going on. So we had a 3-hour conversation, and I just, I apologized, and he said, he was like, you can't keep apologizing and then thinking like your apology is going to be okay. And that was real for me. It landed for me. And I said, you know what? You're right. I can't. And I said, I am ready to release this chaos that's been in my life ongoing, and, to put on my big girl panties and, really try to heal this mindset that I have about like men leaving, men not being secure, men walking away, whatever the triggers are for me, just putting on my big girl panties and like, you know, healing that part of me. Cause I told him, I said, I'll be single, right? Like I'll be single for the rest of my life if I don't fix that part. So that was a big thing for me. There's a lot that was said, but that was a big piece for me. And then in talking to my best friend, who's a male, he said, men don't like to be talked to in a certain kind of way. And Omena, you're hot. I've known you for 20 some odd years and you're hot. And, you know, even in how you're speaking now, even though you're not yelling or screaming, but he was like, if this is the stance, like if you're talking to me like this right now, I already know, you know, if you're speaking to him like that, that's not what it is. He says, regardless of what a person does, everybody deserves to be respected, even if you feel like they've yelled. And he was like, you guys are a team. So your team Omena and team Kenny, right? And I said, but that sounds very one-sided. You're telling me like all the things I need to do. And he's like, it is one-sided because you're responsible for your emotions and how you respond and how you react. And he's like, even if he's doing something you deem like annoying, frustrating, disrespectful, you don't have to respond in that way. You get a chance to control your response. And that landed for me too. So big stuff. I've been going through a lot of healing.
Thank you for sharing that, Omena. Thank you so much. I definitely resonate with what you're saying, and it's heavy. And to carry those heavy thoughts, feelings, and situations into every day, because it's a little bit difficult to clear them, right? So it's like we can't really say those are in the past, even though some situations are in the past, because we carry it with us. So I send you big hugs. And I am offering a workbook to work through certain things just as a DIY when we sit with ourselves and the situations get heavy, just so we can clear some of the layers, because it does take work. Some things that we experience, we don't even realize are from in utero, you know, pre-verbal, and we carry it with us. I'm still working through situations of my biological father. You know, I've met him twice. I know of him, met him twice, but he's not involved. And then, of course, you know, survivor of domestic violence, not once, not twice, but 3 times, you know. And it's like I didn't get it right until the 4th time, but it wasn't about me getting it right. It was about me clearing and just doing the work. It's a daily thing. It's like when you wake up in the morning and you wash your face and brush your teeth. That's the type of work we have to do with these sort of things. And the beautiful thing of it is that just with the size of a mustard seed, with that type of work, just working it little tiny bits and just having faith and believing in what we really want, we could expand with that. So I send you a lot of hugs and love, and thank you for sharing that. That was very courageous of you to be vulnerable and open. Thank you. Can we please hear from Catherine?
Yes. Catherine, you ready?
Ooh, no, I'm probably not ready. I'm probably over ready. That was very heavy. And you know, I feel deeply. And what I would like to contribute to this dialogue is that I write to release. And I wrote that God asked me, would I allow him to be my father?
Oh,
Because you know, when I was 12, my mother and father separated. Well, prior to that, he pretty much favored me in the house. I'm not sure why, but so I felt he left me. So 40 years, you know, I had resentment, disappointment. And as fate would have it, I was the one to respond to him in California when he had a stroke and couldn't talk. And I was waiting 40 years for him to come check me. And when I get to check him, he can't even speak to me. So it was suggested in the Wake Up community that my parents did the best they could do. And I accepted that. And that really freed me up. And so when I had to go deal with my father, I dealt with him through that lens, not the lens of not showing up, not acknowledging his grandchildren, but just that he did the best he can do. And I felt honored to be able to go to him, to be the only one who responded to him in his time of need. So I have forgiven myself for holding resentment against him. And last year he made his transition, and I am so okay with that. And that makes me available to stand up strong in any relationship that I have with men. And I have two men sons, so I stand up in them. I stand up in that relationship too, because they are men. And that's what I want to contribute to this dialogue, is that God asked me, and I said, yes, I will allow you to be my father. And with that, I'm complete.
Thank you so much for your share, Catherine. As you were speaking, I was just thinking, wow, you shared your feelings from the past, but you also showed what it's like to be present with your past. So many times we think of past and it's like what happened and we carry it to the present as weights, but just with what you expressed, that's truly being present with your past and working through it. Thank you so much for your share. I know that it was a heavy question that I asked, and it's important. Today's the last day of November. So we're going to be clearing and letting go of November to be in the past. It's not going to be a November like this again. But then we're also entering into a new month, December, which will be the last month of the year. And as I mentioned before, and I'm just going to bring it out again because to me, I've been blessed to get into a space where I was trained and mentored into brain spotting. And I truly believe that brain spotting is a powerful tool, especially for Black and Brown folk, so that we don't have to relive some of our trauma. And the way that I can explain it is that it's like a heat-seeking missile seeking out trauma capsules. And I could explain a little bit more about that later. And as I've offered before, you can reach out to me and I could explain that to you, because we do need the healing. You know, not that we'll ever forget about the thoughts and the feelings, because they are always with us, but they don't need to be connected into our bodies the way that they have been, because of the hurt and pain that things, feelings, people, and situation might cause. So thank you for that, Catherine. I appreciate you and your share. May we please hear from Florence?
Absolutely. So Florence, you ready?
Yes.
All right, beautiful.
Oh boy. Well, recently I had to make a decision to come to the United Kingdom. I'm London, and I'm still here. And I came to my sister, who is elderly. She's like 82. And you know, when you're speaking to people on the phone all the time, like last time I saw her was 2017, so she was fine. And now I come, and this is after the pandemic and all of this, and she seems to have been affected in a negative way and all of that. So then when I came, I met somebody who seems to be in the early stages of like maybe dementia or something. And you know, it was a shock, and I had to do a lot of adjusting. But talking about what I'm hanging on to, when I met my sister, because I've never really lived with my sister, So I realized that she represented a part of my life that I really didn't I didn't face. And we all had, when she says things, certain things and all of this, I've come to the realization that, my God, there was something we both shared an aunt. She's like an aunt-in-law, my uncle's wife. This woman was very abusive in the way that she interacted with kids and all of this. I don't know, my sister did not probably suffer a lot because my sister was older. She's 17 years older than I am. So she was working and all of that, but we were kids. And I remember a lot of times when we would come to her house, because my mom was ill and had to be at her house, my uncle's house. When we would enter the gate as a family and she would see us coming, she would have this really sarcastic remark that she would make. Oh, our last name is Jack, and she would say, the Jacks have arrived. And she would say it in this way, like some pigs or some cats, from stray cats have arrived to my house. And this thing cut me. I was so young, but this thing cut me so deeply at the time as we were kids, because our dad had his own house and all of this. But when we went to her house, we were treated like dogs, and she was always sarcastic, and she treated us really terribly. And then when I came to my sister, even though I know my sister loves me, my sister's a caring person, but anytime, I hear sarcasm, and a certain way of speaking, when my sister speaks it, I realize that I've been carrying this pain, this hurt, this way that we were treated as kids by this particular person. I realized I've carried it all my life, because I thought I was like having a problem with the young men in school, because I thought they're the ones that I got this feeling against, like sarcasm and being spoken to in a certain way from and all of this. But since I came to my sister, oh my God, I realized, we have had spots of fights, because I get very defensive and very aggressive when I hear this kind of thing. So I have been working through, trying to release that and forgive this woman, and forgive myself for carrying this, because I'm 65 and I'm, I'm having this reaction right now. So I'm trying to work through that right now, presently. To love my sister despite all of this, love her through whatever she's experiencing at this time. With that, I'm complete.
Thank you for your share, Florence. What I'm noticing now is when I enter this space to present, I just need to be mindful of the time that I'm allowed to share. This is the first time that I've done a 30 minutes, and the last time I was with you all was 90 minutes. And I've seen the questions coming in, so let me just share a little bit. With everything that a person may share when it comes to a traumatic event or something that they feel that is causing them pain, that it could be a trigger to them, and you try to make sense of it, it's coming from the frontal lobe, the executive function. This is where you try to understand and reason, like, why is this happening? Why this keeps coming up? Why she or he is being like that? However, while you're thinking about it and trying to make sense about it, your trauma and your pain and everything keeps rotating like a broken record in this part of your brain. This is called the subcortical structure of the brain. This is where we house any generational trauma, anything that our mothers experienced while we were forming in her womb. So, in utero, anything that we've experienced as children. You know how sometimes people say, oh, they're 2, they're 3 years old, they're not going to remember that. Pre-verbal, right? all of that gets housed here. And if we all know, and I'm assuming that we all know, there's a book called The Body Keeps the Score. So regardless of what's going on, your body keeps the score. Even right now, as we hear others share their stories, our force field, if we have one, I hope everybody has their protections on. If you don't, right now you're receiving secondary and vicarious trauma just by holding space and listening to somebody else's story and saying, yes, that resonates with me. I say all of that to say, there was a question. You were talking about the brain, Yuvelka. What is that? Well, speaking about brain spotting, it's something that I have encountered since March and been trained as a practitioner to offer access to healing of these traumas. And I've been trained by the number one, and I say number one because the work that she does is great, but the first Black American female trainer in the world. And yes, they're friends with Bessel. Yes, he has just acknowledged brain spotting to be very effective, above EMDR, EFT, IFS, SE, somatic experiencing. And just to keep it simple, what it is that it's a focused eye gaze. Now your eye has an occipital nerve that runs back and connects with this structure right here where trauma is held. And also the auditory cortex is also connected in that same area. So with a focused eye gaze, what it is that where you look affects how you feel. And the best way that I can explain this is just sit for a moment without turning your face and just turn your eyes to the left and just notice what you feel in your body just by looking to the left. Then take a moment and just look forward. Notice how that shift feels in your body. Do you notice a little change, just the difference of how it feels from looking to the left to looking forward? And then look to the right. Do you notice a change in your body just by looking to the right? And just by being a little aware, if you go up, middle, or down, you get different feelings in your body. And this is just scientific brain-based. This just shows that depending on what we have experienced and how we received, it gets stored in different parts of our bodies and also activated in different parts of our brain. But the trauma is still in the subcortical structure. So it's not just one part of the brain that is activated. And with the therapy brain spotting, it's a heat-seeking missile. And it goes into that area because we trust the brain and the body to heal itself. That's how we're wired. So I'm hoping that brings a little bit of understanding. It's experiential, so it's something that you have to experience. And it's also relational. It's best when you experience after trusting someone. And when folks work with me, I tell them, you could trust me, but whenever you don't feel trust from me, take it back. Because it's that connection. It's me holding that space and also guiding you to hold a focused eye gaze. And with brain spotting, it goes deep and fast. It really does. It does bring heat. You will feel it somatically. I see the comments. You will feel it somatically. Some people have not felt in their bodies certain vibrations, feelings, because things can come up that you might not be aware of you were holding. I came in, I'm going to share this, then maybe this will explain it even more. I came into the brain spotting space looking for my first session, and I came in with a laundry list. I'm going to take care of what happened to me in childhood. I'm going to take care of what happened to me with my mom and my family and, you know, domestic violence and what happened to me in college. And when I sat in the session and I was asked, well, what is it that you want to address today? And I went in with this and this and this and this and this. And then I was asked, how activating is that in your body? You know, on a scale from 0 to 10, I was like, I'm at a 9. And as it's almost like I sink your battleship, like the battleship, you're looking for the coordinates. So in my gaze, I found my coordinates. And what came up for me was nothing that I had on my laundry list. I regressed all the way back to childhood. I can see myself in the situation of where things started. I can see how young my mom was. And mind you, this is flipping through my mind like a Rolodex, and I can stop it at any time. It's not anything that's invasive. You know, you have full control. And I received so much healing that I cannot even explain it to you today. I mean, I'm explaining it, but it's hard to explain because it's what's felt in the body. And notice how I can talk to you about certain things. I wasn't able to do that before without crying and without stuttering in my voice. I think that the calmness, a lot of people have mentioned, oh, your calm spirit. My calmness, I have been growing into that because of the healing I've been receiving. And that's what I offer to the table every single time I come into the WUE family space. And I make it accessible because it really isn't. You know, just the training itself, the ticket is really high, but I've invested in there. And when I offer it to the WUE family, it's for it to be accessible so you can experience it. Now, also, I would like to mention, if I can, I'm not doing the slides because I'm trying to be mindful of the time and this new presentation. I'm not accustomed to it, but I'm learning. The workbook that I put together is 12 pages. In there, it has.
Sorry, Ivelka, before you go forward,
Yes, ma'am.
Acknowledge a couple of things in the chat, and then also,
Oh, wow. Yes.
yeah, to roll back to Florence, because it seemed like that transition. She shared a lot, and then we
Yeah.
went into the brain. Maybe I missed it, but I just want to make sure that there's some more support for what she shared.
Okay.
So yeah, if you would, because
Oh, yes. Thank you for your guidance. I'm still acclimating into the space.
Yeah, I know it, Wake Up has its own flavor. But Florence shared a lot about her experience with the family member and how she was treated and all those pieces. And then we shifted to the questions in the chat. So I just want to make sure we go back to her.
Okay.
So if you want to share anything with her, and then I can read some of the chat shares, and then we can move forward with what you want to share too.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I just would like to say all the shares were heavy. And with Florence, how can I support a little bit more what you have shared as far as the relationships and your experience with your sister, with your older sister, was it?
Yes, my older sister. Yes, well, I mean, what I'm doing at this moment is trying to work past, it's like in a way trying to work past a lot. The fact that I'm surprised that she is in a state of dementia. I really wasn't aware of that. So I have to work through that. Then as a, she's an adult, it's her house that I'm in. And then, like when she says things that triggered me from that part of my life, I have noticed that I've become very, very aggressive and so the two things are contradicting, where I want to be in this place of caring and loving her. But then when she says certain things to me and I go back to that place where I was so hurt as a child, then I get angry. So I have to but I'm aware of it. And I'm in this place where I believe I'm healing. And maybe that's the reason I was sent here to heal. So I just need support in holding the idea of healing from that. That's like healing from that hurt, because it's not only with her, only that I've noticed it much more. It's like this is probably the source, this aunt and this trauma that I experience, maybe this is the source because it's much more powerful here.
Okay.
So I just
It's
want to hear.
twofold. It's twofold, Florence. It's twofold. And I can resonate with what you're sharing because I am dealing with someone, and I don't say dementia because the diagnosis is still very early on. I say mild cognitive impairment because it's in the early stages of dementia.
Yeah.
And I'm currently in the same situation that you are in, except that this person is my in-law, you know.
Yeah.
And I love her and I cherish her because she raised my husband, you know, but it's two different people that I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
The person that she was when she
Yes.
had her cognition,
Yes.
and now this person who is not
Yeah.
that same person.
Yes.
So it's a twofold part of healing.
Yes.
And which one do you choose? You know, and this is like a rhetorical for you to think for yourself, because I'm going to have to do it part 2.
Yeah.
Or maybe connect with you outside of here. But it's twofold. You need
Yeah.
to sit and think which one you're going to address first in the healing, because
Yes.
it's part of the same highway,
Yeah.
but it's two different speeds.
Yeah.
Are you
Got
going to
it.
first heal from the person that you knew that caused this trauma to you from the past,
Mhm.
or this person that you're looking at right now
Right.
that goes in and out and is speaking to you sometimes like they've never hurt you, or
Yeah.
then switches and hurts you even harder than the person that hurt you from the past.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm connecting
Yes.
with you because this
Yes.
is what it is on the daily.
Yeah.
And then you come into the space with, I'm this type of person with this type of heart because I'm here to
Yes.
serve, and
Yes.
I'm here to get, you know, like my goodness brownie points. I say goodness brownie points because sometimes I'm not very nice, although I really want to be.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
But I look at you and I can't get complete healing because you don't remember.
Yeah.
And then what you do remember sometimes,
Yeah.
you hit me like a flood.
Yeah.
And I haven't even healed from the past with you
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
So it gets into a space where I truly recommend you got a right to release some of it,
Yeah.
because some of the work is going to be with you.
Yes.
How do you hold space, and how do you put your force field up?
Yes.
Because it already has some damage from the past.
Yes.
But now you're going to put on a force field with this new person.
Yes.
As you remember the person from the past, because it's a dual healing.
Yes.
With brain spotting, all of that can be addressed at once. And I say that because of my experience in it. However, as a new person who has never experienced it, we have to go slow.
Yeah.
Before we can move fast, because brain spotting can go deep quickly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it takes people out of their box, so to speak, that they're like, oh my gosh, I've had some people tremble.
Yeah.
You know, that I would have to help them resource themselves when they address certain traumas.
Yeah.
And then there's a continuing processing that happens
Yeah.
days after that. So I do a check-in. Okay, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Yeah.
You know,
I'd
but
love to
does
work
that
with
help?
you. Yes, really, really. And I'd love to work with you, really. And so I'd like to connect afterwards.
Absolutely. The work that I have been called to do now, because I thought I was just going to be a birth and death doula this whole time, even through the pandemic, has been a blessing, because I've been connecting with a lot of people, but I can see in the Black and brown spaces where this is absolutely necessary, because you don't have to say a word to me. You know, while we're in a brain spotting session, you can speak as much or as little as you want, because your system is what's doing the work. Your brain and your body is what's doing the work. You're having the thoughts, you're recalling whatever is coming up for you, but internally, it's regulating itself. it's truly a blessing to be in this space and to be able to offer this. I hope that that helped.
Thank you. Yes.
How am I doing, Shawnee?
We just need to say how much more time needed because we're approaching the 8 o'clock hour, but let me do the chat really quickly. So Cassie said that she loves brain spotting, her therapist utilizes it and it's effective.
Yes.
Oh, yes, 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 powerful. I love how this community has all these intersecting connections. Samiko said, just had blood testing with high and low blood pressure, but the heat gave me a headache. Samiko also said autoimmune diseases, maybe trauma. Yeah, I'm also somebody that, that the book, and then also just being a metaphysician, every time somebody says that they have something going on, cancer, high blood pressure, migraines, I'm speaking to them about trauma and what they're dealing with in their lives. Clumsiness, that's one of mine. I know I need to sit my behind down when I keep tripping, falling, bumping my knee. Like all of it is connected, and we're taught that it's disconnected. The mind, body, spirit piece is all connected. Catherine said, I attribute healing and calmness. Let me see. And then Z said, please, Velka, consider doing a part 2.
Okay.
Darnice said, I've had some stomach issues lately, and this conversation gives me even more context. I'm aware that the body keeps the score, and I'm sure that it is part of the problem. Thanks. Looking forward to your contact information. And then Catherine acknowledges Flo or Florence, saying healing is the process. We support you. Catherine also said, what does unconditional love look like? And are we equipped to extend it to others? These are questions I ask myself. Samiko said to Florence, holding space in the power of presence, my sister, myself, is a term that we use in the Be the Tree Rites of Passage Collective for women. That we're all each other's reflections. Z said, I had that experience with my mother when she became ill. And Catherine said, writing to release and relate and restore. And then lastly, I'll say this final one because we have a lot of stuff coming in. Jacqueline said, add Catherine, I think unconditional love involves holding no judgment and just having gratitude and appreciation for another. And I believe that until we have that love for ourselves, we cannot extend it to others. Oh, I'll read this last one. Samiko shared about her mom. 18 months ago with mom as a deaf doula, she transitioned and taught me much that I'm healing from, but brain spotting. I'm not sure if you meant to say something more, Samiko, but yeah, and folks are asking for a part 2, please.
I will. Shawnee, I'm changing my schedule to be here more, so I'm acclimating. How much more time do we have?
Well, I would suggest like maybe 5 more minutes.
Okay.
And then we will transition. This is a shorter day.
Okay.
And so we're approaching the 8 o'clock hour. So anybody who can't stay for the 5, I'm asking if you can, please do. But that's about what we have. And then we can start wrapping up the session for the morning.
Okay, absolutely. I just want to share and say thank you so much for the comments, and I'll definitely do a part 2 or part 3, whatever's necessary to help us all heal, because my schedule is shifting, and I love being part of WUE family from the very beginning. I was a little silent ninja watching all of you sharing until I came into the space, but we need to take care of ourselves first. It's not selfish, it's selfful. You need to, I heard someone say about unconditional love. It absolutely needs to be extended to yourself first. That's what makes it unconditional. You have to give it to yourself first. Usually we come into these spaces with conditions, I'm going to take care of my children. I put myself last. I'm going to be submissive to my husband and my partner. That means that I put them first and I put myself last. This world does not revolve without you, especially if you identify, and I say this because I can only speak in the spaces how I identify. I identify as a woman, nurturer, mother, sister, daughter. I am a biologically born woman. So in that space, I'm very in tune with my creative energy. I create other human beings. And in there, I have to realize that Every single person on this planet came because of the magical portal between a woman's legs. And I say that like that to say you have to love yourself. You have to offer grace to yourself. Without you, there's nothing else. You know the work that you can do to bring healing to other people. You know to what extent you will go above and beyond to make something happen or to help someone else be elevated to their greatness. But how would you do that if you're giving from an empty cup, a damaged cup, a cup that has cracks and holes? How would you do that? So the healing has to be given to you first. And with that, I'm complete.
Ashe, thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful. And y'all, you can keep sharing in the chat. Such a powerful experience of community today and vulnerable, deep sharing. Alrighty, let me put this slide up. All right, 1 second.
Thank you for allowing me to be in the space with you all.
Yeah, thank you for saying yes. So the special offer, can you speak about this so that the community can take advantage of what you're offering?
Absolutely. I've been a brain spotting practitioner since March. So they set the rates and their regular rates is $175. I have asked for special privileges to offer it to the WUE family for accessibility to Black and Brown folks for $97 for a session. There's a lot of front loading, but that's a special offer. Also, that's okay. Also, there's a workbook that I put together so that way you can do some of your own processing, by yourself. And I don't know what they put. They put free, but it was supposed to be for a suggested donation. It says regular price, $9. It's supposed to be for the suggested donation of $9. Out of that, yeah, that $9, I'm giving some back to the WUE family. So, and it was just to help you. It has cognitive behavioral therapy in there, and it also has sheets for looking back into the year. So you can pinpoint, it's almost like building your own grief map. And I think that's all I can say right now because I'm just caught off guard a little bit. I have to acclimate to the space. Thank you.
Okay. All righty. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me move forward. Contact information.
Yes. My contact information. If you want to reach me quickly, please text the phone because I'm overwhelmed with emails, but I do answer them every single day. The Instagram is @griefsoulwork. And my email is uvelka@gmail.com. Also the website uvelka.com. Thank you so much.
In the Zoom chat, as well as the Facebook thread. So family, we've been talking about this. I was so happy on Thanksgiving. I got a chance to be with you, talk with you, co-create with you about the power and the energy of money, which is my own natural energy yield. And when we say we mean the collective, like we all have the manifestation power within us. And so we share in this space that if you create a way to keep giving in this WUE space, then the WUE space will create a way to keep giving to you. And you're going to receive anyway, whether you give or not. But I always say, imagine what it would be like if you were giving openly, freely, and with love, like what would come back at you as a result. So these are the options as far as monthly giving. If you want to give more or even give less, you have the opportunity to reach out to us and let us know, and then we can set that up for you. But these are the 4 options as it stands. And so we invite you to give and give generously and give lovingly. Tomorrow, my cousin, one of the loves of my life, is going to be presenting. Her name is Ia Robin St. Clair, and she is going to be speaking on character, how to be and what to do when you understand it's all about you with caps. Wait a minute, it's all about me. I want to hear more about that. And it's part 1, so she's coming back. I love that too. And tune in, set your alarms, come on through. And in the Wake Up Everybody community, we view ourselves as a nation, WUE Nation, WUE Tribe. We're just a badass group of people, and we come together collectively to learn, elevate, and ascend. And we invite you to come on back if you are here for the first time today, or if you've only been here a few times, like you're already part of the community, that you don't have to do anything special, but just be and show up and participate, listen, grow, learn, transform, ascend with us. But we do acknowledge you for being here, and we thank you for your contribution. Schedule. So we're here 5 days a week, Sunday through Thursday. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday are the lengthier sessions, the 90-minute sessions from 7 to 8:30. Monday and Wednesday are shorter sessions, even though we were in the space longer today because we got started a little bit later. And those sessions are from 7 to 7:30. Sometimes we run a little bit longer when it's getting juicy and good. If you want to be reminded about coming into this space, you can go to your text app and then just type in the number 74121 as if it's a phone number. And then in the text box, in all caps, put WUE Nation, send it, and then you'll be put into our automated texting system and get reminders each morning to come into the space. We also have WUE Swag. The holiday is coming, Kwanzaa is coming. You can buy candles with affirming messages like transforming, growing, healing. We have a water cup that has an affirmation on it. We have sweatshirts, t-shirts, teacups, coffee mugs, tote bags, all of this stuff that will activate your WUE Sa energy, right? WUE Nation is just dope. And leggings and a hat. It's going to be winter soon, so get your swag so that you can be prepared for the shift in season. We thank you. In the thread, we have the links for purchasing, and please do purchase as part of the contribution to the WUE Nation. We want to thank you for being here. We want to thank Uvelka for being generous. We want to acknowledge that you can register for our weekly sessions. Every week we have a new list of who's going to be up, the summaries of their sessions, their bios. Please do tune into that and use the link for the registration. We're on Facebook. All the recordings are on Facebook on our private page. So please join if you're not on there. We're on Instagram, YouTube, and we have an email that you can send messages to and ask for support, guidance, and give testimony to your participation and share ideas. So we're complete. So we're going to do what we call a love shower, right? It's a form of our applause in this wake up space. So we unmute ourselves and we pour into our beloved sister Uvelka for just being dope and being generous. So please unmute yourself and start doing what we do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Oh, I
so
love
much.
Thank you so
You are a
very
good
much.
family.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
I
much.
appreciate
So
so
very
much
much.
for being here.
Wake is upon you this morning, and I will be for you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for everyone who
Oh,
came
Thank
forward
you.
speaking up
Morning.
on
oh,
and
with
taking
your
time with us, man.
presence,
Love
yes,
y'all.
Lord.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
We are not.
Thank you,
You're
Shawty, for
blessed.
being
Have
such
an
an awesome
amazing day.
advocate.
Thank you.
Amen. For
Thank
being
you.
all the rest of the
Oh,
people.
have a
Everyone who
wonderful
helped
day.
open for the
Thank
check-in
you.
room.
Thank
So
you.
Thank you
amazing.
so much.
Let's move forward,
Everything
everybody. Have a
everyone
blessed
This is
did
day.
and
very
spoke
good.
was
Okay.
so
Thank
amazing.
you.
So
Thank
amazing.
you.
So
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
amazing.
much
Wonderful. Have a
Appreciate all of
for
wonderful
the
y'all.
love
Love
day.
that I
y'all.
receive. I send back.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Such an
we
excellent
receive it. We receive it back
event.
from you.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Thank you.
So
God
much
bless
healing.
you,
Thank you,
Mr.
Miss
Velka.
Shirley.
Thank you so much. Have a powerful
Appreciate you.
day.
Thank you.